Hey there YouTube, what's up? It's Nick with Feeding Fitness. Today I'm going to answer a question that was posted in the comments of the last video I did about, I just did a video about some basic information about bulking. And this was left in the comments, and I'm going to go ahead and read it and respond to it here. This question comes from Peter. Peter says, hey man, I was just wondering, I'm 224 pounds, 6'2", 45 years old. If I went down to 1,500 clean calories per day and did high-intensity interval training at least 5 times per week, would this be too aggressive, especially for the caloric intake? Thanks in advance. Alright, Peter and anybody else thinking about something along these lines, which I see this all the time. You guys are looking at these super low calorie, super high cardio plans. Don't do them. They're awful. I don't know where you're getting that this might be a good idea. It's obviously not on my YouTube channel. This is a horrible idea. First of all, let's say you did no cardio period and you just ate 1,500 calories and you say clean calories. Let's deal with that first. There are no clean foods. There are no clean foods. Foods are not clean and dirty. All calories are calories. Macros are all that matter. I feel like I say this all the time. The quality of your food is of little importance. It's about macronutrients and quantity. Now, yes, you need to get your micronutrients in as well. And yes, eating nutrient-dense, minimally processed whole foods help keep you satiated. I agree with all that. But don't think for half a second that clean calories put on less fat or help you lose weight quicker than dirty calories, because both those terms are bullshit. So, okay, that's dealt with. Now, 1,500 calories a day. You're 6'2" and you're 225-ish pounds. So I'm 6'1", 200, and when I cut, I do a full 1,000 calories more than that. I do 2,500 at the minimum. That's as low as I'll go. And that's going to allow me to cut between 1 pound and 2 pounds a week depending on cardio. So if you're going down that low, you're going to be losing weight too quickly. You're going to start to lose some muscle. It's going to happen. Also, problem with going that low is compliance. There is no way in hell I could stay on a 1,500 calorie diet for more than a week. It just wouldn't happen. And I feel like I have way above average willpower. And a diet like that, I would have no chance sticking to. Let's say for some crazy reason you can stick to that diet and you're not concerned about muscle loss, which is, you should be. I don't care if you don't think you want to be big. I hear this from a lot of guys too. I don't want to be big, I just want to be lean. You still don't want to lose muscle. Trust me. It is so hard to put muscle on. Don't burn it off in an ill-advised cut. But let's say you're not worried about that. Let's say you can stick to the calories. You're going to feel like shit. You're going to feel like absolute shit. You are not going to recover correctly. Your workouts are going to be terrible, and you're generally just going to be a slug for the entire time you're at that caloric level. Your body does things. When you deprive it of food, when you starve the body, and I'm not talking about starvation mode because I don't believe in that kind of bullshit, but I'm saying when you do not provide the body with adequate calories, it adapts. Your movement throughout the day will decrease. Your unconscious movement, they call this your NEAT, it's gonna go down. You're gonna lay around more. You're not gonna walk around as much. You will unconsciously decrease your activity output. So you're better off just eating a few more calories and being more active. Alright, so no, you should never go that low. 1,500 calories, if you're 6 foot tall and a man, not even once. Most girls that are 5'5" can think about 1,500 calories. That is too low. There's just no point and there's no hurry. You're not going to lose the fat that much quicker. Just go about it in a correct manner, and that way when it's done you're going to be in a better spot to start building some muscle and really fixing your body composition. These speed crash diets are a recipe for failure. People are gung-ho at first, they lose a lot of weight, they get super excited, their weight loss stalls, and then they binge, and they binge hard because they've been depriving themselves for so long. It's just a bad idea. Now on to 5 days of high-intensity interval training. This is just as ludicrous. You can't recover from that. 5 days of high-intensity interval training. If you're doing high-intensity interval training or HIIT properly, you should be a wreck when it's done. You should almost be, when I do HIIT, and I'll do it on an elliptical machine, I get off of that elliptical machine and I am dizzy and I have to like get my ground, get my bearings set so I don't fall over. That's how exhausted you should be if you did a proper session of HIIT. I couldn't do 5 sessions of those a week on proper calories. It would destroy me. So on a caloric deficit, no way. At most, and this is my advice to almost all of you, HIIT 1 to 2 days a week, low intensity cardio 1 to 2 days a week. Tops, and that's way more than you need to do. You can cut weight with no cardio, and if you just want the health benefits of cardio, 3 days a week, low, steady state, low intensity, steady state. You can go for walks. You can go for long walks and get the cardiovascular benefits. Or you can jog, run the elliptical, you can do whatever you want, but if you're just looking for cardiovascular benefits, you don't have to do interval training. And if calorie burn is what you're after, how much of a deficit are you really trying to create? Anything more than 1,000 calorie deficit is going to be way too much. And even 1,000 calories is very steep. So if you create 500 from diet, you really only need to do maybe 1 or 2 days of HIIT and 1 or 2 days of lifts to create the other 500, and you're at your 1,000 calorie deficit. And again, 1,000 calorie deficit is very aggressive. You're not that fat. At 6'2", 225, you can't be that fat. If you're super fat, like when I was 300 pounds, I was probably in a 1,500 calorie deficit, but that's different because you're morbidly obese. Now, if the person who asked the question, there's no way he could be that big. So really just have patience. Don't do anything crazy to lose the weight, because you're going to burn through your muscle, you're going to burn yourself out, and you're going to set yourself up for failure. This is the reason why so many people fail at weight loss. They try and go too hard, too quick when they're motivated, and they end up stalling quicker because they went on such an extreme deficit. I mean, if you stall on 1,500 calories, how are you going to cut any more calories? You're done. Your cut is over. You need to reverse diet. You're screwed. If I start cutting, and I start cutting from my maintenance of 33, then I cut down to 27, then I can go to 26, 25, 24. I've got some room to wiggle. You have no wiggle room at 1,500. I wouldn't recommend it, not at all. If you must go on a crash diet, if everything I'm saying you don't give a shit, I'm going to do a crash diet, there is one and only one crash diet I would ever recommend. It is super hard. A lot of people who attempt it fail. All it does is provide you with slightly faster results, but it is Lyle McDonald's protein-sparing modified fast known as rapid fat loss. I'll link his site in the description. You can buy his book. That is the only crash diet I would ever recommend because it's scientifically researched and it's sound, and Lyle sets it up to where he forces you to take breaks so many times throughout the dieting phase that you aren't going to burn yourself out. But again, it is extremely difficult. I've never attempted it. I've looked at it and saw that's not for me. In fact, I've actually read the book, and the entire beginning section of the book is telling you that it's probably not the best idea. Are you sure you want to do this diet? It's going to be really hard. It's not for everyone, and but it does provide results. So that's kind of what I have to say about that question. I got into a little bit of a rant, and it's something that just comes up a lot. People ask all the time, be it on the forums or on the Facebook page or whatever, about these crash diets because everyone wants to lose the weight in a hurry. But think about how many people you know that lost a ton of weight really fast. How many of them kept it off? How many people do you work with that lost 20 or 30 pounds in a month only to put it back on over the next 3 months? It's not what we're going for here. We're going for lasting, life-changing body recomposition. It's not done overnight, and it's not done in a week. We don't get fat slowly, so why should we lose fat quickly? It's just not, I mean, we don't get fat overnight, so we can't expect to get lean overnight. I mean, it took me the better part of a year and a half to really lose all of my fat. And because I did it in a slow, steady, controlled manner, I taught myself how to keep that fat off. And that's what I want for all of you guys. So that's all I have to say. If you have any questions or comments, please drop them down below or head over to the Facebook page at facebook.com/feedingfitness. And I will see you guys next time.